operation of the analog system requires 6 employees: a hump yard master, a hump foreman, a yard helper, commonly called a pin puller, a locomotive engineer, and 2 car retarder operators. Taschereau Yard in Montreal uses the old hump system. The yard master instructs the crew members of the hump yard assignment which track to enter to couple onto a train and shove it up the hill for humping. Some switches in a yard are operated manually, and some are controlled by a switch tender. This switch tender will line the switches for the locomotive hump consist to enter the track. A member of the crew directs the coupling of the locomotive consist to the train. After the coupling is completed, a reverse movement is made. This is called a stretch. This complies with the rules to ensure the coupling pins are locked into place to prevent an unintentional uncoupling. The movement will then commence shoving up the hill. The hump yard master and car retarder operators are located in the hump tower. From this vantage point, they have an excellent view of the hump crest and classification tracks. Prior to the commencement of humping, the hump yard master prints the hump list and delivers a copy of the list to the car retarder operator, positioned at the corresponding side of the hump. If in doubt, the hump yard master checks with the car retarder operator to ensure that specific tracks have enough capacity to handle cars as specified on the hump list. The hump foreman also examines and prepares a copy of the hump list, which he receives on a printer in the hump building. This preparation will involve grouping cars destined to the same class track as multi-car cuts. After the hump yard master determines everyone is prepared, he will instruct the humping to commence. As each car reaches the crest, the hump foreman checks the car number against the hump list. If there is a discrepancy, the hump foreman will stop the movement and notify the hump yard master and/or car retarder operator. To route a car, the hump foreman presses buttons on his console, corresponding to the classification track on the hump list. The hump foreman is in visual contact with the yard helper at all times. When a multi-car cut reaches the crest, the hump foreman will notify the yard helper which car to uncouple. This will allow a multi-car cut to travel down the hill together. When a dangerous commodity car reaches the crest, the hump foreman will inform the engineer and yard helper to stop the movement. When the previous car clears the path of the following car, the hump foreman will signal for the movement to restart. The yard helper, commonly referred to as a pin puller, in addition to operating the release levers, pulling pins, will watch for sticking brakes. If a sticking brake is evident, he will either operate the air brake bleed valve rod or signal for the movement to stop and check the handbrake.